Welcome to a Theology of Permaculture. My name is Sean, and today's video is about mistakes that have been made and that maybe you can avoid. Many years ago, when we first started putting in our garden, and we hadn't been into permaculture yet, but we were sort of learning about it indirectly. We heard about the Back to Eden garden. So we started laying down boxes to cover up the Bermuda grass, which is still pretty much in our front area a bane to our existence, and it's a struggle to keep under control. But one of the things, in order to save time, let me show you. So here's some boxes that we're actually going to set down soon. If you look here along this edge, there is tape. And some of these boxes had, not these boxes here, but when we first started, had so much tape that it was just going to take so many hours upon hours upon hours to take that tape off that, I mean, sitting out in the hot sun or even in the cool breeze in the morning, it was just going to take too much time. And so I decided that I would take a shortcut. You see, like here, and I decided that I wasn't going to remove the tape. And I figured, well, you know, I've heard they say it takes like 2,000 years or 200 years for, you know, the plastics to degrade. 20,000 years. I don't remember, but all I know is there's some large number that it was going to take for the plastic to degrade. And I was like, how do we even really know that when we haven't even had plastics as long as the shortest time that they had said, which I think was like I thought I read at the time like 200 years, and I probably just put a little informational blurb here. But, you know, I was like, we haven't even had plastics that long. So how do we really know how long they take to degrade? I'm just like, you know what? It's going to be fine. So here we are. It's, that was probably 2013, 14, 2013. Actually, 2012 was when we first put in our garden and our first couple beds. And I think 2013 is when we really started moving towards the Back to Eden system. And we did get a lot of fruit with that, but also at the same time, because we didn't know better, we were using Miracle Grow a lot at the same time too. So it was like just pumping our plants full of steroids. But, you know, so there were other struggles with the Back to Eden, like if you don't get your edges underneath control with Bermuda grass just, it goes by seed, it goes by root, it goes by just hanging over and then creating a new root and just spreading, you know, continuously, like, kind of like strawberries do. So anyways, fast forward, here we are, 2022. I'm going to turn this camera, I'm going to pause for a second, actually, not turn the camera, I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm going to go over to this other section that I'm pulling up a bunch of the weeds. You know, it's the end of April, getting ready to start planting a bunch of stuff, and we've allowed a lot of the natural weeds to stay because we noticed, just first of all, it's pretty. Second of all, we just noticed how many early pollinators were there, so just figured no point doing it now. Let's give them food and things to do so that they can pollinate our trees as well too. So I'm going to head over to this other section. Hold on. So I'm right here in our Zone 1 area. This area over there is where we grew corn last year. We've planted a bunch of blueberries that have just been sitting in pots, and so we finally got them into the ground. 7 of them. Still have one more over there by that pile of black plastic that I kind of used for a greenhouse for part of the winter. But anyway, so I'm over here clearing this area so we can start planting some things in it. You know, I may lay down some black plastic. I just might use this fabric, but that fabric is another thing, you know, I'll have to show you about. But so anyways, we laid down boxes all those years ago, covered them with wood chips, you know, and you know, the wood chips, you know, degraded, became soil. I mean, this is really, you know, pretty good rich area here. But here I am, you know, I'm using my 4-tine, I don't know what it is. It's a garden, we'll just call it a garden turner. It probably has a better technical name. I don't remember what it's called. garden fork. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of sticking it in the ground, moving it back and forth to kind of loosen up the roots, but not destroy everything. But here, so this is what happens. So I pull off this section and I shake the dirt off because I don't want to be getting rid of all the dirt. I'm going to take all these weeds. Either I'm going to throw them back on top of the ground here and then cover it and let it feed, or I'm going to just go put it in the compost pile. So one of the two. But, so down in here, see, you can hear that? Here's that tape. You can see that right there? That's one of the places that was here in town at one of the outlet malls. You can still read this 9 years later. And it hasn't really degraded at all. And this is one of the things that I wish I wouldn't have done. So if you think that, you know, it's okay to just skip that step of pulling off all the tape, let me tell you, 9 years later, still, I can pull up parts of the boxes that have like the UPS sticker on the side, and I can still read what was in the manifest on some of them when I dig them up. I haven't found any of those most recently, but you know, you can see it takes a long time, and we don't want this stuff in our garden. So this is, you know, early on I was just, you know, excited, wanted to get things done, and I took a shortcut. And now, you know, still to this day, pulling up, you know, little pieces of plastic tape from the garden. So anyways, I hope that you learned from this video, learned from this mistake, that actually it does take a long time for plastic to degrade, and even when it does, is it really good for the soil? There's a lot of studies that suggest no, it's not. So anyways, as you seek to do and go about your gardening and permaculture and ecology and agriculture, just remember, the easiest way isn't always the best way, and the best way is usually the simplest and the most natural way. So in this case, we could have got better results and no plastics same results, no plastics, had we taken this off. I say we, it's really me. So anyways, God bless you, beloved of the Lord. May the Lord bless you, may He keep you, may He cause His face to shine upon you, and may He give you peace. God bless you, beloved of the Lord.